underestimate them. They might
Hello,
surprise you.
everybody.
Oh.
Here we are. All right, so a lot of exciting stuff happened, and I just want to talk about some of it. One, we had a pretty rowdy talk last night in my Discord. That was a spicy voice chat.
There were
I
some.
had a
yeah.
neophyte comic creator come back from his very first comic show, and he was like, in Comicsgate, they told me that conventions were dead, but Preston, guess how much I sold? $500. I was out there, and I was aggressive. And boy, he was a very aggressive person. When it came to conflict resolution, I felt he needed a little more tools in his box, but it worked for him. So there we go.
It was all good.
It was all good. But yeah, we had a lot of cool comic creators, and I had just put up at ReaperCon, I sold 2165 and
that's a good
sales.
haul. Yeah.
So that was pretty strong. I was pretty happy with that, and I'm making some very exciting deals now, because there was a guy there who's demoing it, because ReaperCon is not a comics convention, it's miniatures. Yeah. So now I'm talking to sculptors, and they're looking at my drawings like, oh yeah, now I'm getting quotes on how much it would be to sculpt, and now get that in a figurine. So, for instance, if you liked Palace of the Golden Princess and you really liked the armor and whatever, like this, my whole idea of like the sexy lady with the armor you can make bigger, hey, you can get those miniatures and paint them and present them in your D&D game, because 5th edition would totally allow you to do that, go crazy, so now it's just another element of merch in my empire of merch.
I wish there were still cons where I live. I still haven't been to one. Tabling. I have 6 books done, 7 books done, still haven't tabled.
Right.
Pandemic is so awkward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
sorry, I totally threw you off track there.
No, that's fine.
Of Fanatic Comics, shout out to you, and I forget what city it was, but it was out in Iowa, I think. And,
someplace like that, yeah.
Yeah, someplace there in that great vast plain of corn.
Listen, you already just admitted that Iowa has a city. You can't back that up and say it's in the middle of nowhere now.
Very well. I hope to usher in many more creators who learned from the stream. Like, for instance, by the way, and I got to give another shout out here. So let me go ahead and give some general shout outs to Darth Daddy Lunga, who, he presented the pages to Isidore issue 2 here. And I've now received the book. I've read the book.
What'd you think?
I thought it was not bad. I'm still a fan. Okay. This is where I got to separate the art from the artist. All right, look. Isidore is punching a Shoggoth. When was the last time you saw anybody like Superman or Shoggoth? Or is that a classic thing? Did Superman ever flying punch a Shoggoth?
Well, not Superman specifically, no. But
they
have sort of like a couple Marvel characters that are like that. But anyway. Okay. Yeah.
So but that wasn't something I was necessarily expecting from Isadora.
It was a little strange.
Yeah, I'm like.
I think the only thing I can really criticize about his book is he really needs a better artist. But yeah.
Yes, that
art style is not helping him.
But I also got to say,
people
get offended. It's it's like saying a baby's homely. At some point you just got to go. That's a beautiful baby, and that's a beautiful book with a beautiful art style. So fantastic. And
it definitely works in certain contexts, but he's trying to make like a really pretty lady, and you know what I mean, like
she's no Guinevere, all right.
No, that's what I mean.
That. I'm gonna go that far.
Right?
She's no Guinevere.
She could be with a different illustrator.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But good job, Lunga, and Lunga made it to the big time. Lunga made it to Ethan Van Sciver's stream. So there he was, surrounded by industry pros, like Aaron Lepresti, I think, was on that stream with him.
The picture I saw, it looked like he was surrounded by like 8 bald men. So you know.
Yeah, those 8 bald men were our comic professionals to you, sir. So I think this was definitely a you know, look, I'm the minor leagues. Lunga's in the big leagues.
It's true.
And
yeah.
Congratulations are in
The
order.
pros. The
So
pros.
fabulous. And I understand Lunga has to say bad things about me now. It's how he bonds to this new group.
Yes.
I forgive him. It's okay. If you just keep putting out such wonderful books as Isadora, I will keep supporting you.
There you go.
There you go.
Whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like gum on the bottom of your shoe.
Let me give you money.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I'm doing some spicy things here in Palace. So let me go. All right. I may have to delete this stream later. So.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
You wouldn't need to do that.
And in that case, before you do, I will tell people, for those of our 4 listeners who were paying attention to Cygnus Imperium, there is a colorist. There is a very tentative publication scheme about which I need to have a meeting with a certain someone. And it is getting done and will be available in some capacity soon-ish on some crowdfunding platform.
And you know what?
Will almost certainly be Kickstarter.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot. Not totally forgot. If you look at the link in the description of this video right now, you will find the sign-up link to Larry Holder's campaign for Primal Chaos.
Yes.
Featuring Samael. Who later meets...
also your Viviacs?
No, not yet.
Yes, and later on Viviacs and Gatsby and Guinevere.
Yeah.
Are those pages, or are we reading that tonight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So just so people know, I aggressively license my characters. If you want to write just let me know. All I'm going to do is ask you to credit me in the copyright section.
It was real hard to twist
who are uninterested in Preston's characters. Cygnus Imperium has none of them.
Right, exactly.
Hey, my stuff doesn't have any of his characters in it either.
I don't know why my statement prompted other people. Okay.
I want to write and be known for my own originality and not.
Oh, come on!
That's awesome.
You are certainly known for your originality.
Okay.
I have never laughed as much as reading some of your most Godzo scenes.
All right, look.
I applaud you.
Look. Okay, a lot of people out there, okay, start their writing with fanfic. Okay?
Yeah.
The fanfic is where a lot of amateurs get their start.
Absolutely legitimate.
And,
so,
if you look at
look, I was me 20 years ago.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad that you have progressed beyond the fan fiction stage, and I wish to say congratulations. But if other people wish to look to help feed my audience, because let me tell you, I think people like Guinevere. I sold a lot of Guineveres at that convention. I got a lot of backers on Kickstarter. I just got an order today for $100 worth of Guinevere merch. People like that character. They like that story. They love all the hot succubus prints and all that stuff. And I'm turning my back on Guinevere for probably a year, maybe 2 years, because I got these new projects that are coming along, and now we're talking about miniatures. Now we're talking about role-playing games. Now we're talking about all this other stuff, which represents more time and more money. And then later on, I might be like, oh, God, I got to get back to Guinevere. And then I'm going to be like, but what's the miniature going to be? And what's the game going to be? Maybe there isn't one. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about it anymore. But meanwhile, like Larry or other people are free to step into the void and speak to that audience and monetize their stuff. And I think it's a good opportunity.
Well, I look at it this way. Like, if somebody from Marvel came up to you and said, you want to write an issue of X-Men, you're not going to say no. You've always wanted to explore those characters or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Guinevere's not X-Men, but it's still an interesting story. So why not take pre-established characters and put them into, something else?
That is the stage where you read it in comics.
Yeah.
Writing other people's characters.
Yeah.
So,
It's fine. I'm just not going to stop teasing you and.
Oh no, you
pulling
tease
your
away.
chain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely could.
Well, you know what? Here's my question. Let me go ahead and ask this question because I think it's important. Okay.
Okay.
If Larry Holder's Samael series with my characters brings in more backers and more money than Angel of Darkness, will you be like, oh wow, maybe I should incorporate the characters, or are you going to be like, no, this is my path, damn it, and this is my path? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Angel of Darkness is written.
Yes.
With this particular story, I know where it's going, so no, I'm not gonna.
I don't think
do it.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is it is. Let me put it this way: it is my goal to show the people who use my characters such a wonderful avenue to profit that other people are like, I want to do that too. Okay?
Preston,
I
don't think anybody is going to tell you that you're making a bad decision if you want a cut of the 50 Shades version.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
And John can write that at any time.
Yeah. There you go.
I probably could. I mean, I did write a Ginger X Demon script. I mean, it wouldn't be all that hard to go back in and tweak a few things and put it back out. I mean,
yeah.
Just saying. Yeah.
Just saying. And then if that brings in more money, what are you going to ask yourself? That's all I'm saying.
If you can't make money with 50 Shades, that's your marketing department's problem.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So speaking of 50 Shades, all right, we got some stuff happening. Who wants to narrate for me?
I do.
Okay.
So badly.
All right, go ahead, Danny.
Palace of the Golden Princess, issue 2, page 1. What happened last time in Palace of the Golden Princess, Preston?
All right, so last time there's the Kelpie, Kelgadal, who Thora returned, who has basically charmed Thora, and they formed like a psychic link. And instead of allowing the Kelpie to take her down to his underwater lair and make her his wife/slave, however that works out in fiction, instead the call of Gretchen came, and Thora was like, oh wait, I have a mission. My queendom is at risk. I have to go back, and you can help me. And Kelgadal the Kelpie was like, okay. So we ended issue 1 with her riding back on Kelgadal, who was in his horse form. So it just appeared as though she were riding a normal horse, but she is actually riding a very dark, sinister, shape-changing fairy who likes to kill people. So.
Right. So John, give us the log line of issue 1.
The log line?
Yeah, like
I guess like the 2-sentence synopsis, or I can too. After her kingdom's magic disappears,
yes,
Thora, her handmaiden Gretchen, and Prince Edmund travel to some sort of evil forest in order to sacrifice Gretchen to an evil summoner.
Some sort of evil forest.
Yes. At which time Thora gets an unlikely ally in a shape-shifting water horse. A murderous shape-shifting water horse.
There you go. Yeah.
A demon fairy.
And you know what? I got to say, another benefit of the Discord, there's a channel called Writer Mentoring, which I think a lot of the people listening to this should probably be interested in.
Definitely.
And Larry found a video about the Kelpie.
Well, actually, it was a creepypasta story about a Kelpie, but yeah, same thing. Yeah,
it was basically Kelpie fanfic.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I wrote a story about the Dinganek, best known as the jungle walrus.
There we go.
Weird fanfic is definitely something you do with strange creatures. Anyways, page 1.
Okay. All right.
Panel 1. Adorned with mystic runes set into the leather, a large teepee, T-E-E-P-E-E.
Wait, hold up. I googled TEEPEE. and it came up with, that's the deprecated spelling of TIPI. I'm like,
oh.
I'm like, all right.
I would go with whatever spelling your illustrator is most likely to not have to Google.
Fair enough. All
right. Sits in the forest clearing, surrounded by 6 stone cairn, each topped with the skull of a different humanoid race. Panel 2. Red sand sprinkles out of the bottom of a closed right fist to complete a complex design. Panel 3. Archimedes, the summoner. A middle-aged elven man wearing fetishes, furs, and other trappings of a medicine man clutches his closed right hand to his chest as he inspects his handiwork. Before him, a summoning circle formed from red sand atop yellow sand bears arcane runes both worked into the border and as one sinister, large-looking glyph in the middle. No copy. Panel 4, using his left hand, Archimedes scrapes the sand clinging to his right into a leather pouch holding more of the granular pigment. Panel 5, he ingests the peyote cactus using his right hand, which he plucks from an ornate bowl held by his left. Panel 6, he smokes hash from a leather and bead-adorned wooden pipe.
All right.
He drinks liquid from a third ornate bowl.
So he's a very libertarian.
Well, you can tell he's evil because he does drugs.
I don't think he's summoning anything. I do think he's seeing shit.
Exactly. He sees all kinds of things. All right.
Yeah.
Are we sure he's a summoner or like some sort of diviner?
That's his story, okay? Whether you buy into
all
his
right.
story,
Yeah. It's awesome.
Page 2, panel 1, splash page. Seated cross-legged before the summoning circle, he looks at a dimensional rift as it opens inside the boundary of the circle. In front of him rests the pipe and 2 empty bowls used on the prior page, and the 2 empty bowls used on the prior page. A feminine demonic hand extends through the rift to offer a golden chalice filled with red liquid from beyond the boundaries of time and space. That was very specific art direction.
That was cool.
Letter note speaks with a cold, otherworldly voice. Archimedes. Oh, sorry.
All right, wait.
Someone needs to be Archimedes.
John. Oh, yeah. Who wants to be Archimedes? Who wants to be the...
Preston, you should be Archimedes, because that way you can say, Eric Chagall.
All right, Larry,
most dramatic voice.
You can be Eresh Chagall.
Eresh Chagall, okay.
Eresh Chagall, goddess of the underworld, hail the mistress of the oblivion. Or hail the mistress of oblivion.
Rejoice, Archimedes, my noble servant, for you, once again, have my attention. Consume the milk of misery and take your place in hell at my side.
Page 3, panel 1. His face betrays his revulsion and discomfort as he tries to bravely consume the vile tasting liquid he drinks from the golden ritual cup. Having completed the ritual, another reality begins to impose itself as his surroundings become absorbed into a surreal hellscape. That seems like it should be another panel. Panel 2, foreground. Eresh Chagall, mistress of oblivion, sits atop an obsidian throne surrounded by the faint outline of the summoning circle. Headbound in supplication, Archimedes kneels outside the circle's perimeter. Background, hell's bleak desolation torments the souls of the damned.
Time makes a mockery of meaning.
As reality itself crumbles under its crushing heel, I am savoring the collapse of those... is it decadent?
Decadent.
It is decadent.
Yeah, decadent. Alluvian harpies.
As well you should, my queen. Viviax imposed her will on my realm to what end? A weak society of pleasure seekers addicted to self-adoration? Pathetic.
Mistaking fantasies for goals allows them to cope with their own insignificance. Now comes the reckoning.
Panel 3, Eresh Chagall projects a vision of Thora, Edmund, and Gretchen, each on their respective horses as they ride through the woods, between herself on the throne and the still needing Archimedes. I wonder who's riding the Kelpie.
Oh, yeah. I screwed that one up. Need to fix that.
Writer's approach.
No doubt seeking some charm or favor to prolong the inevitable.
we shall treat them better than they deserve. Let us heighten the tragedy of their collapse.
As you wish, my queen.
I feel like that all needed a lot more Cobra Commander voice.
I can't do that one.
Page 4. Panel 1. The light of the early morning reveals Edmund as he dismounts his horse. Thora and Gretchen, both seated atop Kelgadal in equine form, look on. Excellent.
John.
If the map is true, then we must have arrived.
Shall you be the one to negotiate with the summoner? Panel 2. Edmund ties his horse to a tree as Thora dismounts, leaving Gretchen still seated on Kelgadal.
I want Larry to be Thor, by the way.
Sorry, what?
I am the strongest among us, the obvious choice. Still, I don't want to snub you.
I want Larry to read for Thor.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, no problem.
Panel 3. Background. Edmund speaks to the women from under the shade of the tree to which he tied his horse. Foreground. Gretchen and Thora exchange worried looks.
Bind your squire so that I can more easily hand her off to her new owner.
That won't be necessary.
Panel 4. Holding a piece of rope, Edmund confronts Thora about what to do with Gretchen, who patiently remains in the saddle.
Nonsense! How is she to understand her new situation as a slave unless you restrict her movements?
And what if he doesn't accept her?
What if is a game? Oh, what if is a game for scholars? We are here to make an exchange. If you won't bind her, I will.
Panel 5. Gretchen looks nervously to Edmund as he brandishes the rope.
And I am likely to be a lot rougher.
Ooh. Page 5. Panel 1. A simmering Thora ties the arms of an ashamed Gretchen behind her back as Edmund looks on in triumph. Okay, Edmund's weird. Free of any rider, Kelgadal's equine eyes betray a fairly nuanced understanding of what is taking place.
That's a girl. Carry out the Queen's orders as a loyal Alluvian knight.
Why has no one stabbed him yet? Seriously, they could just do it when he sleeps. It's really easy. Panel 2.
Good to have a good heel, though. Yeah.
Yes. Why has no one stabbed him yet is an important question.
There you go.
Be so much more satisfying when it happens, though, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Edmund relishes the sadistic moment as he grabs the now bound Gretchen by the hair. He leers at a frightened girl as Thora, behind them, seeks to protect her as best she can.
Well, my dear, not all squires make it to be knights. My advice would be to do your queen and goddess proud by being the best whore a man could hope for.
Your piggish misogyny violates the oath of the Alluvian Knights.
Please, misogyny. I was trying to keep this girl alive a bit longer. If she can't happily please her new owner, he's not likely to keep her for long.
Panel 3. With sadistic glee, Edmund leads Gretchen to Archimedes' teepee as Thora follows behind, head hung low.
We have all pledged our lives in the service to the Queen. Well, this is your day for sacrifice, my dear. Behold, summoner, it is I, Edmund, who do the bidding of the Queen Akira of Alluvia. We come offering this slave, who formerly went by the name of Gretchen.
Panel 4. Foreground. Archimedes stands at the entrance to his teepee and surveys Gretchen like he's about to acquire livestock as Edmund furthers his parlay. Jesus Christ, did you get a new thesaurus for this? Background. Thora turns her back on the whole affair.
In exchange, we ask for a vial of angel's blood. Queen Arika extends her wishes of goodwill to you and hope that we might seek further bargains in the future.
So that's as far as I got, but I felt like I was taking some aggressive directions here. I didn't know what you guys
that's
about.
quite aggressive, I will admit.
It's aggressive, yeah. I like where it's going, though.
All right, so I will start. I really like this.
Okay.
I really like how it starts by actually focusing on the target of the quest and by providing deeper layers of villainy, which is good. It extends the potential of the story even longer. I really liked how you set all of the protagonists up for betrayal early on. And there seems to be a solid dynamic going on between Thora and Edmund, who, for some reason, haven't stabbed each other yet. So I'm really excited to see how this is turning out. Lots of room for twists and turns and things.
Cool. All right, Larry, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely a bold direction. I wouldn't say it's as bad as you were making it out to be or anything, but yeah, it's definitely going to turn a few heads, I guess. I don't know. Some people don't like that sort of imagery or whatever, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Well,
so,
look, I also I wrote this today, and I came off of ReaperCon, and I know what prints I sold out of and had to run to FedEx.
Yep.
And it wasn't one of people engaged in
no,
happy consensual behavior.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say you get a comic with a chick that grows. You're gonna sell it at a convention. So like that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. But so yeah, I think it's definitely going in a really interesting direction. I'm glad he didn't cold start it back at the town like we were discussing the other week, because I think this is a little bit more interesting. So
yeah, did you like the summoner? Was he...
Yeah, the summoner's cool, man. Like I like that he's like he's a super drug addict, which is kind of funny. And you're like, oh my god, is this guy like actually a summoner? Or is he just a drug addict?
And you know what? It may end up in the comic that you never ever see.
No. I like that though. It's crazy. Like. It's true that, these shamans and wizards or whatever that were considered shamans and wizards were actually just crazy people that lived out in the woods and did a lot of drugs. So, yeah.
I think the 21st century phrase for that is better living through chemistry.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that. No.
All right, John.
I hope I didn't say that apologetically. Jesus.
No.
Yeah.
No,
we're not on the hut stream here, so it's like it's okay.
I agree. The opening was very strong. I think it was a good way to start it by opening with the summoner, especially because we didn't meet him in issue 1.
Right.
So I think introducing him on page 1, I think is a really really cool way to do that, and gives us a little break and reprieve from how issue 2 ended, and then we pick right up where issue 1 ended pretty quickly. So it's not like it's any kind of distraction, and it gets into his backstory and who he is as a person and all that kind of stuff. I mean, so I think that's cool. It's nice that I have a feeling that he's not long for the world, so it's good it's nice to get to know him a little bit.
Yeah.
In his natural habitat before we see what the events of the story and how that's going to change his life, whatever short time he has left of it.
Well, whether you're going to see the summoner again, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you will see Ereshkigal again.
Yeah, I was just going to say it was cool that you low-key introduced a rival demon. So that's pretty neat. Yeah.
So
yeah. That as I said, I don't have the feeling that he is long for the story, but I think it's however that plays out. I think it's nice to see what his life was like before the events of the story, and then afterward, just so that we get that little that change. Otherwise we don't know a character before events happen. Then we don't really know what impact those events have on him.
Yeah.
So even
then our protagonist is running around murdering people, and that's an actual D&D game. And as it turns out, not great fiction.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I said, I liked it. I thought it was a good way to open.
All right. Okay. Constructives. Go ahead.
I guess I'll go first again.
All right.
I'd like to see more dialogue on page 1 to introduce the summoner and like what he's all about.
Okay.
So whether that's like him giving his chant or whatever, that's, you do a lot of work in the art and there's a lot of panels there, and then you really slow it down with the splash page, which is cool, but you've got page 1 with no copy. And so no one really knows who this guy is until later. So having like, you know, some of that incantation be there,
So
or
do you want a caption like in the Cyclopean woods?
Yeah.
No,
why
like
not?
even like having like VO of like you know, like in the Dragonlance books, like you hear people saying magic words a lot, right?
Right.
So like something like that, like here is my incantation. It gives you a bit about him. With this hash pipe, I invoke thee. With this ayahuasca, whatever the fuck.
Sure.
Right, and like actually just say what it is, but also, you know, this is the kind of person this person is. He's going to like wreck his own body for a little bit of power or whatever we're going for, right?
Right.
Because we want people to turn from page 1 onto page 2.
Right.
I just like,
yeah, and like I think that's an opportunity to go more, right? Because it could be a hash pipe full of the ground up bones of orphan girls,
Right.
right? Like you can do a lot with detail here. So I think that would be really cool. And I would actually extend the Ereshkigal scene or make a double splash page out of it, so you don't start Thora and them
Right, so you want it to be on
start them on an even
the
number
page.
page.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I think they're on a page turn.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're already on a page turn. I misremember that. I think they start on page 4.
Okay.
So you're good there, actually.
There you go.
But if not, make sure they start on an even number, and you're good.
Okay.
And you've already got the foreshadowing into that page turn. That's really great.
Awesome. All right. Other constructors?
I was not sold on Edmund's character, only in that I don't remember him talking or acting that way in issue 1. So I could be wrong, and it could have been changed in a rewrite.
Issue 1, if you remember, they are given an order from the Queen to ride straight.
I remember the story.
Yeah,
I don't remember like the way he was talking and his attitude. I don't remember that.
They had that little spat when they were camping there. I think that kind of brought it out, but yeah.
Actually, I think John's got a point.
Yeah.
I remember thinking when he was talking about only trying to save Gretchen and talking about the misogyny stuff, I was like, wait, Edmund actually cares about this whole ideology thing? Like, I was a bit surprised by that. Sorry for stepping on you there.
No, as I said, it's like I don't really remember his character very much, but it seemed like his character got dialed up to 11 issue 2, and I don't remember him being that aggressive and forceful in the end of issue 1. So it could just be that it's been a while since I've heard
issue 1 is in production, but I'm free to tweak the dialogue if I need to go back and change the dialogue on issue 1 to amp Edmund up a bit.
I would say go back and look at how his character was, how he was behaving, how he was talking at the end of issue 1, and make sure that
he pulls a sword on a bitch. I mean, it seems like
yeah,
right.
That's misogynist.
But I don't remember going to the ropes and going to all of that. That's, as I said, his character just seemed way more aggressive and forceful in issue 2 than I remember him being at the end of issue 1.
More of an opportunity to be, right? When you're in
okay. All I'm saying is I don't remember how he was, but he seems like he's gone from like 7 to 11, and there's not like a gradual
because he's
increase.
opportunistic, and
he's an ever-growing asshole. There you go.
I understand. Again, my comment was simply.
Edmund, you're such an opportunist. What are you doing? Jesus.
Yeah.
No, that's not even what I'm saying.
Listener's gonna walk out of the hut and gonna be the voice of feminism and be like, "Hold on now." Hold on.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh God.
I bow down before your awesome greatness character development, Preston.
All right,
John, you gotta make sure it happens. Don't worry.
Oh man. Okay, yeah. He's definitely more aggressive than he was in the first issue. That's for sure. I agree there. Yeah.
But I
don't see that as being a bad thing.
I don't see that as being a bad thing.
Yeah.
My point was not that that's a bad thing. My point was the turn. There was I don't recall him progressing to this point
until now, where he
was down here, and now he's up here.
Okay,
that's all. That's all I meant.
All right, you want a little bit more. You want more. All right, so here's what I
want more of a build. Yeah,
I could put in another page of chit chat and a little more Quentin Tarantino-esque dialogue. A little Royale with cheese, and then at the end, he reveals I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
So Preston,
it's fine, Preston.
There is also
perfectly fine. It is wonderful. I bow down to your greatness.
All right. Look, I'm asking. I'm asking.
Oh my God.
I'm asking for feedback.
Yeah. Look, John's got a point here.
Okay.
The way in which he's an asshole is very different.
Okay.
So we can fix that in issue 1, or we can fix that in issue 2. Both of them are perfectly good options.
All right.
They're dialogue-based solutions. I'm not worried about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just seeking guidance for what the problem was.
Like, I think the question is like of how much of an asshole he is and in what ways he's an asshole.
All right. Okay.
And that doesn't seem. Please correct me if I'm wrong, John. As if that's internally consistent between the 2 issues.
I think it's amazing and it's awesome, and I have nothing further to say.
You don't gotta,
John, if you keep that up, you're going to break my sarcasm detector. Also, I just want to point out that Preston just had a defensive moment on his writer's stream, and that never happens.
Yeah? It's true. But, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Everybody's going to have them at least once.
Everyone will. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially if it's near and dear to you. Yeah.
I'm just trying to put in the fix. I'm just not sure what the fix is. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are. We got chromatic Betelgeuse algorithm by
this is Mario's script.
Have we read this before?
Mario's script. I believe we have.
Okay.
Who wants to narrate? Yeah, this is Mario's script.
Yeah. Did he actually change anything? Because it looks the same so far.
Well, this is 2 to 15. Okay. Which, if we go to 15, which is the end here, it is page 10. So this is 10 pages. He turned in 10 pages.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Who wants to narrate for us?
I'll narrate.
All right, go for it.
Page 1, 5 panels. Panel 1 is a continuation of the ending of Chapter 2. Panel 1, exterior cyanide block, night. Caption, for the fate of the girl who might know something. Bitsua faces the lead knight with 3 squires. Oh yeah, this is the same, isn't it? With 3 squires behind him, the lead knight pulls out and activates a laser mace. The chain jumps with energy inside it. The lead knight and squires look as they did in the end of issue 2. Vroom!
Looks like I'm going to have to finish you off and finish you and the merry men off.
Panel 2. The squires charge in towards Mitsua, now ready for a fight. Their armor activates. The helmets have neon faces, allowing them to express a robotic, stoic look in hot pink. As one does. One now has gloves with electricity flowing out of them. Electronically. Arr. Oh, that's him, the squire.
Okay, I think we got it.
The The alliance between the White Knights and the Snowstorm Gang shall not be infringed, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Panel 3. Tiny panel. The girl with orange
Tiny
hair
panel.
who was knocked out from the last issue is on the floor, not moving.
Lead Knight again.
Preston.
That was Preston.
Yeah, I was just checking. So we were reading Mario's script. I was checking to see if he was. No, he's not.
Oh yeah. No, he couldn't make it or something.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he works it this time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And you have attacked a fine lady of the Snowstorm Gang.
Panel 4. Mitsuha, putting on a tinted visor, throws a flashbang. Put.
That was a good sound effect. Put.
As promised, we shall protect all those who do business with us. And so.
Panel 5. Mitsuha's point of view. She has an extendable baton in her right hand and Oh, he did make changes.
Yeah, he did.
Because he didn't have weapons. She didn't have weapons last time.
Yeah.
So this is a rewrite. Cool.
Yeah, I remember.
She has an extendable.
About the fish hook. Like,
Yeah.
4 revisions. That might be gone now.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Maybe she's using a real fish hook to do the fish hook.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She has an extendable baton in her right hand and sees the squires running at her at medium range. The flashbang begins to detonate in front of the squires with the electrical glove to her right. I don't know how the flashbang begins to detonate.
You shall face the wrath of the White Knights.
I think it's like mid-explosion, but yeah, this needs to be changed.
I would more clarify it's a little explosion, and
Yeah.
then it would need to be like in a later panel have a larger explosion. Otherwise, just say it explodes.
Inside.
Page 2, panel 1. The two squire. Wait, page 2. Panel 1. The two squires with planks in their arms continue forward with eyes closed. The gloved squire falls in a daze from the flash, hands trying not to touch his face.
Arg.
Panel 2, Mitsuha dodges a wooden plank, slammed down to her right. By sidestepping to the left, she hits him in the side of his head with the butt of her baton, knocking him out.
Yeah. It's all good.
Panel 3, point of view from behind Mitsuha. She grabs him by the collar. Oh, there it is. She grabs him by the collar this time, throws him to the floor, exposing the unconscious girl to the reader.
Judo throw.
Yeah, exactly.
Panel 4,
Judo
the unconscious girl who now wakes up, albeit groggy. Page 3, panel 1, Mitsuha gets hit by the lead knight's mace in her left arm from the back. Her eyes pop open. Her eyes pop upon impact. That's gonna hurt. Panel 2. The lead knight approaches from the background, resetting his laser mace. In the foreground, the remaining squire approaches, hitting the 2x4 in the palm of his hand. Swam!
Damn. Boy, I hope you like the taste of lumber.
Do you now understand who you are dealing with?
Panel 3, the orange-haired girl, now up, begins running away, one arm on her head.
No, I can't let you get away.
Panel 4, Mitsuha sweep kicks the last squire, knocking him down on his back. Page 4, panel 1, she begins to get up, and the mace lands by her left foot, almost tasing her. Gike.
You have been a nuisance for too long now.
What's she to you? It's not like she'll ride your pony after this.
Panel 2, the lead knight resets his mace as Mitsuha gets up, baton still in hand.
It is something that a wench like you won't understand.
Panel 3, the lead knight's frown turns from hot pink to red. He throws his mace, this time a laser pulse emitting from it.
Flee, my fair lady.
Panel 4, wide shot. The mace gets Mitsuha across the left side of her face. Some blood drips from her cheek. Crack. Page 5, panel 1. Mitsuha thrusts forward and extends her baton while blood is dripping down from her face. She hits the lead knight's helmet in the top right corner. The light on his helmet shuts off and smoke comes out. His voice box also shuts off and he drops his mace, but he is not dead.
I'll hold her off as long.
Panel 2, Mitsuo, while using her left hand to push her left earpiece, pivots to begin to chase after the girl. Manchu, her teammate, answers the call. Gunshots can be heard from the earpiece.
Trace my coordinates. 4 incapacitated, ready to arrest. I'm following a 5th on foot.
Pew, pew, pew!
Yay!
Panel 3, Inset panel. Chu, as seen in issue 2, is pressing on his earpiece, rifle in his hand with bullets whizzing by on a black background.
Damn right. The bar where you apprehended the sample turned into a goddamn war zone! You weren't kidding me when you said they're machines, and it's only one of them. We might have to bring in the sniper unit. Hate to tell you this, Beetle, but try to hold out if possible.
Panel 4, exterior, abandoned streets, nights. Mitsuo puts more energy into her dash, closing the gap between the two. Wanting it to end, she throws the baton at the girl's feet.
CAF, fucking stop.
Panel 4, the girl begins to stumble and fall. Clear pouches of herbs and different syringes come out of her pocket, hitting the floor. Oh, we got more libertarians around.
She does drugs.
The green syringe shines on a bit brighter than...
Yeah. She doesn't have... Look, she's not doing it for some greater societal ritual purpose, okay?
Yeah.
Just give her a t-shirt that says, like, taxation is theft.
There you go.
Then she can claim that she's being
rich,
politically persecuted. Right. Page 6, panel 1. Close up. The girl has a defeated expression on her face. Mitsuo slaps a handcuff on the girl's right arm, while the other is already slapped to her on her own left arm.
Backup's on the way. Don't make me put you in a body bag.
Do it. They'll kill me if I go back.
Panel 2. The reveal takes Mitsuo by surprise.
Wait, what? Who will kill you? It's Night Patrol. I can lock him up.
Yeah. It's not them. It's the heads of the snowstorm gang.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Panel 3. Mitsuo puts on her serious police officer face. The girl quickly shuffles in her pockets and begins to pull out her wallet.
Show me some ID.
Panel 4. She gives Mitsuo her ID. Mitsuo yanks it out of her hand. Doink!
Just, I got no stinking ID. Yeah. That would have been funnier. But, yeah.
Page 7, panel 1. Wide panel, Mitsuo's point of view, with her thumb covering a bit of the portrait. The girl's ID is displayed in full.
Last name, Ayanami. First name, Mizuki. 19 years old. You definitely don't live in this part of town. Or in this town at all.
Panel 2, Mitsuo lowers the ID and squints her eyes at Mizuki, who begins to fidget. To be a bit fidgety.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
I can't tell you. Not here, not now.
Because...
Panel 3. Mizuki whips her head toward audible gunshots. Mitsuo stares at the sewer grate.
That's why. In a few minutes, they'll be all over.
Panel 4, Mitsuo, smirk on her face, lifts the sewer grate. Mitsuo cringes in disgust at the thought of entering the sewer.
Not if we get out of here first.
You can't be serious.
Page 8, panel 1, interior grisly sewers. Night.
I guess she was serious. Yeah.
Mitsuo is stomping through the ghastly mud and grass-colored sewer water. Mizuki is slowly sloshing behind her, too grossed out to keep up. There are bits of trash in the water, as well as the pipes on the ceiling above. Drip, drip, drip.
Got it just in time. Good thing the grate was, like, right there.
Ew, 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 ew.
Panel 2. Mizuki steps into a deeper part of the sewer, catching her by surprise. Her arms springing into the air as she begins to panic. Slosh.
Now, how did you get your hands on all of this?
Ack.
Panel 3. Mitsuo, annoyed, turns around and pulls Mizuki up to a stable footing by her handcuffed arm.
Follow where I step. It's uneven here. And you answer me or I'll shove you back deeper. How did you get in all of that in your jacket?
Panel 4. Mitsuo drags Mizuki by the handcuffed bond, mirroring a teacher and a wandering child on a field trip.
Well, I gotta pay for food somehow.
And dealing is the smarter method.
It guarantees I'll have something to eat on my, something to eat the same day I work. Okay.
Panel 5,
sure.
close up. 2 pairs of boots are running in the sewer water. Squelch!
Squelch.
You think they went this way?
Yeah, if you're quiet, you can hear them.
Page 9, panel 1. Mitsuha, hearing the men's voices, begins to run with a lagging Mitsuki.
So how do you get that green juice? Tell me and keep up.
I told you it was used to help people focus and get things done. I was given a small shipment yesterday morning.
Is there any more?
Not that I know of. I heard most of it went up in flames yesterday in a shootout.
Shit, we almost had it.
Splish, splash, splish, splash, taking a bath. Panel 2, they run across a few rows of pipes.
Do they tell you what that drug does?
No. That was an
she
issue
just
one.
said up there that it
Yeah.
helps you focus and it does something else.
The line is not really.
I'm instituting criticism before I forget it. Because literally in the previous panel, she just said what she thinks the drug does.
Yeah.
She just says it helps people focus and get things done.
It turns them into Terminators. That was an issue.
So she already asked the question, and she's asking the same question again in the very next panel, and getting a different answer. So that's the only comment that I was making.
Someone should read that line though.
Where are we here?
Mizuki's line.
Oh, yes, not really. Something about for a man who needs action or close to that. They really skimmed out on the details this time.
Well, that sounds like Viagra.
That's
it
what
really
it
does.
is, man. It's like, Off panel man.
Preston,
There
There
they
they
are.
are, shoot!
There they are, shoot!
Clank! The clank! Splish! Panel 3. A few bullets whiz by Mizuki. Mizuka reaches for her friender with her right arm. Mizuki freezes and tenses at Mitsukishi's revelation.
That thing is worse than anything you sold before. That product makes people into unstoppable killers. That product makes people into unstoppable killers.
Exactly.
No, that can't be right. They wouldn't make me sell anything like that.
I have the police report about last night's fire. Someone used a drug and started a fight, which led to the fire.
Oh my god.
Bang, bang, whiz. Panel 4. From behind.
Oh yeah.
2 men in all dark blue bomber jackets with a tally of the number 5. With a tally of the number 5?
I think one has a 2 and one has a 3. Or one has a 4.
2 men in dark blue bomber jackets.
That would be kind of cool, actually.
Or perhaps one has a 2.5 and the other has a 2.5.
Jackets, backsides. Shoot at the duo. The duo in the background begin to run off the panel with Mitsuha shooting 3 shots. Bang, bang, bang. Chaboom, chaboom, chaboom.
There we go.
Panel 5. Mitsuha shoots 4 bullets at the snowstorm men. One gets hit in the left rib twice, running towards them, falling dead, and dropping his gun. The other one, standing, keeps firing, walking toward them. Bang, bang, bang. Chaboom, chaboom, chaboom.
First flash.
I love sound effects. Yeah.
Page 10. I think we're at a nightclub now.
Yeah.
Page 10. Mizuki gets hit in the left backside and slumps.
Oh
no. It's just the butt cheek. It'll be fine. And slumps against the wall. The remaining man falls as he gets shot in the head.
God, I'm hit.
God damn it.
Panel 2, Mitsuha shoots at Mizuki on... Wait, no, I'm sorry. Mitsuha looks at Mizuki.
Well, you got to get so violent like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I saw that it shoots the first time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mitsuha looks at Mizuki on her hands and knees. A small patch of blood begins to form around the bullet hole. Check out her
Tell me
blood.
who gave you drugs, and give me the vial you have.
You crazy bitch. I'm dying and all you can think of is this? Or, sorry, all you can think of is...
Panel 3, fed up with her whining, Mitsuha pins Mizuki back to the wall by pushing hard against between her sternum, making sure she slams against the wall. Mitsuki has her eyes wide in terror on her face, while Mitsuki has either gritted her teeth or is full-blown yelling. Well, pick one.
Shit.
My friend is barely alive thanks to your snowblow suppliers. My teammates are fighting off another user this fucking second. If you don't give me what I'm asking, the whole country is going to be a berserker-filled, free-for-all war zone. I want to read that comic.
Yeah. Really, though. Oh, there's a second
And
bubble.
if that happens, I'll make sure you get forgotten in the body count.
Oh, yeah.
Why should I say that aloud?
Yeah.
If you're threatening someone...
Mitsuki looks over at the 3 downed men, thinking the deal over.
That's it. That's all we got.
That is it?
Yeah.
That was 10 pages. So I think improvements were made. Right?
Definitely.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
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 I think, as I tell people, this process helps.
Yeah.
Like compare that to the scripts they used to turn in. Format's gotten way better, and these pages are better. So, pages are cool. We had the showdown with the knights, followed by the showdown with the evil drug dealing. It's either Mitsuki or Mitsui or whatever the other one is. And
Names are a little too similar.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Yeah.
You know what? That would actually be my critical note. Is I would like there to be more distinction between those names, because otherwise,
maybe have them start with different letters.
At least, yeah.
But anyway, so there's a sinister plot afoot. The woman reveals she's been used and has a deep moment of regret as she dies, realizing her life was not only meaningless, it was counterproductive. And that was kind of a downer, but I love downers. And Eresh Kagal, Mistress of Oblivion, smiles in your direction.
Nice. Yeah, definite improvements over the last script. It's gotten a little bit more technically better too, like you said. Didn't notice any passives. That was good. You would have pointed that out anyway.
It wasn't that big.
Yeah,
out.
but it wasn't like.
No, it wasn't bad enough that it was even worth it.
Yeah.
And I think I only noticed them because I was reading.
Probably, yeah. I didn't really notice them, but hey. Preston usually notices them and points them out, so.
Well, clearly Preston was distracted by an engaging story.
Yeah. I mean, no, it was good. It was lots of.
I had some real scenery chewing lines that got to be over the top,
Yeah.
Emotion.
The knights are excellent. Yeah. So.
Yes, the knights are hilarious.
Yeah.
They are definitely. They kind of steal the show on these pages.
Yeah. Well, he's making like an anime style book, right? Or manga style book, I should say. So. Yeah, it all fits. So, yeah.
I liked.
Sorry. Go ahead, John.
Oh, I was going to say I like the use of the baton. I think I mentioned that when I was reading the pages. But I liked having her have a weapon, and being able to deflect and attack with it. I think it fits a little bit better when she's being attacked with melee weapons. And so I liked that. I thought that kind of worked.
Yeah.
And the some of the actions and the narrative descriptions were pretty good. So
it's always cooler if they get something to hit people with. So yeah, punching people with your fists is fine, but come on now. You want that real impact, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
Echoing everyone else, I think this is a really strong showing for chromatic Beetlejuice algorithm.
Yeah.
Although I still have no idea what happened in issue 2 whatsoever.
Yeah.
After 7 drafts of this scene.
Yeah. I don't either, actually. Yeah.
Isn't this issue 2? I thought
this is issue 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it
3? I thought it was 2.
Right?
I think it's 2, but yeah.
Go double check on page 1, panel 1 there, but like,
I don't know.
So it flows from one scene to the next. There's a reason for everyone to be there. There's the imminent threat. The threat is threatening.
Chapter 3, volume 2.
Okay.
So I don't
know what that means.
I don't know what that means. I know this is not issue 1.
And I love
I know it's not issue 1, so there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's good pacing. There's a reason to have dialogue when you're having dialogue. There's no reason to have dialogue when you're not. Backup ain't coming, so that puts Mitsuha in an interesting position, and she chooses to lie is a cool one. So that was really fun. And then there was a role reversal. She went from kicking ass to running for her life, to kicking ass while not looking and threatening someone else. But
yeah,
there was a moment there.
Yeah, I remember we asked him to put a reason in for why they were down in the sewer, and I think he did that. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
All right, we got any constructives?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I had a few things too, but go ahead, Danny.
Yeah.
So I think Mitsuha needs a bit of a rewrite in the sense that like that scene with Mizuki is like Mitsuha is like two different people. She's like badass angry cop who's like at the end of her rope, and then she's also like, "Oh, I hope everything turns out all right." It was super weird.
Yeah, that's really strange.
And so the thought balloons don't help. Like all of those things should either be allowed or not said. And I think having a consistent attitude and like the weird handcuffed together, you're coming with me aspect of the scene in the sewers is going to make that scene more tense and also avoid some of that like what's going on with their relationship conversation. Because like on one hand, it's like, oh, too bad you fell into all that shit. Okay, now tell me about all these drugs, or I will fucking murder you.
Yeah.
Right? And like,
yeah, that seemed really weird. That shift.
I think he was trying to write it like she was threatening him, but it didn't really come across right. So
yeah, so like we want to just sort of mediate that
threatening her.
a little bit, but it's absolutely the right direction.
Yeah,
that's it for me for constructives at this stage.
Tiny rewrites. Yeah. Dialogue rewrites.
So one of the things that I noticed that some of the panels have multiple actions in them that I would say just so like the lead knight keeps recharging his mace. And in a film, I can understand what that means, because he gets like a single charge. Every time he hits it, he has to, rewind it like pumping a shotgun. But
just shake it.
In a comic, I don't see how you're doing that in one panel.
That's true, yeah.
So that would be something I would say to look at. Either remove that little gimmick from it. I mean, if the gimmick's not that important, I would say just remove it altogether. Because like if I was doing something with a shotgun, I'm not going to show that he fired a shotgun, pumps it, and fires a second time. I'm just going to say he fires the shotgun and use a sound effect that says he shot multiple times. So that those kind of. But again, this is a sci-fi weapon that we are not familiar with. So we're not going to know exactly, our brains won't connect that. But I don't know if that's important to the story. And that's why I'm saying if it's not important, just leave it out. And if it is, maybe establish that earlier or maybe do it once. Like the first time he charges it, show him whatever he's doing, whatever motion is that he has to do to recharge it. Just show it the first time he does it, and the rest of the time just ignore it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you could have it like glowing or something when it's charged, and then in the first time he does it, 2 little inset panels. 1, him pressing a button on his handle. 2, the end of the mace glowing. Done. You don't. That's all you need to know. So.
Yeah, just something like that. That's if it's important, because again, if it's not important, that's an extra panel or 2 that you're paying your artist to draw. That's not really all that necessary. So that's just something to think about.
Yeah. It's a good point though. Yeah.
And a general rule for this is every character gets 1 verb in any panel.
Gets 1 what?
Verb.
Verb.
Every
I know what a
character
verb
has
is. I
one
don't know what
verb in every panel in the art direction.
That means they should be doing something.
Yeah.
They should only be doing one thing.
Yeah, they should only be doing one thing.
Exactly one thing. Everyone should be doing exactly one thing
verb
in every panel
per panel per subject.
Unless there's like a line of motion or something like that in the panel, but you know, yeah, those are hard to do. So, yeah.
Was there anything else? Because I think Danny mentioned about the dialogue part in the alley, because that did seem a little off. But that's tweaking. I think Danny covered that. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess the drug thing. I'll bring that back. Her not like a delivery girl for a pharmacist knows she's a delivery girl for a pharmacist, and somebody that is transporting illegal narcotics knows they're transporting illegal narcotics. Even if they don't know what the narcotics are or do, they still know they're transporting illegal narcotics. So to act like they think they're just, transporting aspirin for Dr. Wu down the street is kind of just didn't resonate with me in that character. Like, the girl should know that.
I do have to, I gotta agree. I gotta say, like, that moment didn't have a lot of emotional weight to me.
Yeah.
I did not identify with the sentiment of, oh my God, I've been used.
That just did not land.
Unless she's acting like intentionally stupid or something like that. But even then, it's kind of like,
now, unless she does work for Dr. Wu, the pharmacist, and he is the one doing the illegal drugs, and she doesn't know about it. That's a totally legitimate thing you can do if you set it up. But that doesn't seem to be the way that this was set up.
We don't know what the drug delivery system is in the future, right? Like, COVID and all, they could have door-to-door drug delivery, right? You never know.
But you would still be working for an authorized licensed pharmacist.
I'm just kidding.
And that's kind of my point. Like, if she's working, and the authorized licensed pharmacist could be a bad guy, and he could be peddling illegal narcotics out of the back of his pharmacy.
Then you got to add a whole lot of story in. So,
But again, that's not the story that you wrote.
Yeah.
So for her to act like she doesn't know just doesn't work.
I just cut
she
that
needs
anyway.
to know, and
I think like acting like she's a main character is going to survive very long at this stage makes her worse. Like, the sympathy play doesn't work. Right now, she's the drug dealer who we need information from.
Right.
After this, if she survives, then you give her her background.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
And we can feel sympathy for why she feels
now she's just a bitch.
Yeah.
You can work all that in later if she's a character that people care about and actually want to read about continually. Or if she just ends up thrown in jail and then that's the end of her, then that's just the end of her.
Yeah, like write an entire prequel novel about her backstory. Why not? Go full Star Wars.
She's doing like flips with a lightsaber. Yeah, it's all good.
She's in love with some princess. Which is totally not a pedophilia situation.
Exactly, yeah. Never ever.
And she finds Stan really uncomfortable when it gets to her vajayjay.
Man.
So we got Larry's pages and we got John's pages.
Hey, whatever you want to do. Any order's good for me. So
who wants it?
Let's read John's pages. Regretfully.
Alright, here we go.
Mine are going to sound familiar. This is just a rewrite of page 1, issue 1, page 1.
All right.
Who's narrating?
I'll narrate.
Go for it.
And then and and then we'll deal with lines later.
Holy shit! Sorry. Speaking of thesauruses, but anyway.
Page 1. I'm going to skip most of all this because I know none of it really matters.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
panel 1,
That's
splash
a good
page,
way
the
to
Great
start.
the Great Wall of Channel, night. Picturesque landscape, lush mountains, partially constructed military fortifications dart the mountain range. We can keep going.
Huh?
Unless you want. Oh yeah, screw it. Fine. So these are artist notes.
No.
So note the Great Wall of China was built over.
Oh yeah, we don't need. Yeah.
That's why I say it's all artist notes. Caption: Once upon a
Yeah.
time in ancient China there arose a great evil. Panel 2, small inset, a vast desert spreading as far as the eye can see. A desert haze covers across the landscape. Panel 3, small inset, the desert haze begins to take a humanoid shape. Panel 4, the humanoid shape is
Oh
now
yeah.
an army marching across the desert.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Page 2. Panel 1, splash page. The Chinese imperial city sits under a red sky and a blood-red moon. From the city gates, soldiers bearing the dragon emblem on their armor and flags charge down page from the city above. They are led by the prince, denoted by the top-knot hairdo flowing from his helmet. The invading soldiers, page 1, panel 4, charge upward from the bottom of the page. The invading force is so massive that they cannot be numbered and appear to extend beyond the edge of the page. Caption: After a year's siege of the imperial city, the emperor's son led the castle guard in a final assault. Panel 2, wide inset. The two armies clash in chaos and blood.
I like the two
Swords.
arms. That's you should just keep that.
The two swords strike against shields. Spears pierce armor, lifting enemies off the ground.
They're shedding blood under a blood sky filled with a blood moon.
It's
bloody.
Page
Lots of reds.
3, panel 4.
The colorist is going to be like.
Well, actually, I have a colorist.
Well, I mean,
part of my artist note is that I am going to do that. These are going to be very, very heavily inked pages, and it's going to be very dark, muted colors. So this is going to be like 300. Like these pages look like 300.
I'm just thinking. It's a good thing it's not like 1950 and red is super expensive ink still. So it's like, yeah. Yeah.
Page 3, panel 1.
Those beetles.
Yeah.
An invading soldier throws a javelin that breaks out of the panel. Panel 2, out of panel. The javelin pierces the prince's armor, running through his stomach and out his back. Effects: blood splatters across the page. The emperor's son was gravely wounded. Panel 3, large panel. The prince, on his knees, grips the wound in his left hand as blood flows onto the ground. His right hand pulls his helmet from his head. The enemy surrounding him, massively outnumbering the imperial soldiers. Corpses of imperial soldiers litter the ground. The invaders are clearly winning. It appeared that all was lost. Panel 4, top view, angled down. The prince, still on his knees, raises his bloody left hand to the sky. His helmet on the ground in front of him, released by his right hand. He called out to the gods to deliver his enemy into their hands. Now the emperor had always been a just and pious man, and taught his sons to be the same. So the gods heeded his cry. Page 4. Panel 1. Tight, close up. The prince's legs as he stands. Shining golden scales grow over his leg armor. Panel 2. Inset. Tight, close up. The prince pulls the javelin from his stomach. Shining golden scales wrap around his stomach, closing the wound. Panel 3, inset, tight, close up. Shining golden scales grow around the prince's chest plate. Panel 4, splash.
Go Power Ranger.
The prince stands in his shining golden scale armor. While the body appears similar to a muscular humanoid male, his head resembles that of a Chinese dragon. The prince grips the javelin that pierced him with one hand and his sword in the other. Caption: the spirit of the dragon warrior came upon the prince.
Hell yeah, it did.
Page 5. Panel 1, the dragon prince throws the javelin out of panel. Panel 2, the javelin cuts into the panel, stabbing the invader through. With sword and spear, the dragon warrior fought back against the invading empire. Panel 3, two invaders spring toward the dragon prince as he stands on guard. Panel 4, the dragon prince parries. Panel 5, the dragon prince swings, removing the head as the another closes in. Panel 6, the dragon prince cleaves an invader in half with the sword. Blood splatters out of the panel across the page. And for 1,000 years after, peace ruled the land as no one dared to stand against the gods. Whew. Page 6. Exterior, Santa Monica All-Girls High School Day.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Now the real story begins.
Exactly.
Panel 1.
All that other shit.
Oh, God.
Panel 1. Inset. A book sits open on Julia's lap. The text is in Mandarin. A drawing in the book resembles one of the panels of the Dragon Prince fighting off the invaders. Panel 2. Inset. Julia sits in the back seat of a black 1930s Dodge Brothers DC-8. The book now closed in her lap. The cover matches the Golden Dragon Warrior variant cover. Julia wears a high school uniform, pleated skirt, white short sleeve button-down blouse, matching tie, white knee socks, and black shoes. Page 3, splash page. Julia takes up the majority of this panel. We see her from head to toe as she walks away from the sedan toward the entrance of the school. Julia's skirt dances in the
John,
breeze as she walks.
Panel 3, splash page?
Yeah.
That don't matter.
Page
splash, but you could say main panel, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? You could say main panel. But I want to say, John, I think your writing's getting better.
Yeah, John,
right.
that Power Rangers scene, very well directed.
Yeah.
Julia's skirt dances and breezes as she walks. She holds her backpack with her right hand swung over her right shoulder. Her left hand brushes her long black hair behind her ear. Behind Julia, but off to the side, the black sedan sits parked. Stephen Gantz sits behind the wheel wearing a valet uniform. Around the schoolyard, we see other teen girls wearing similar uniforms walking toward the school. Panel 4, inset, assigned by the steps. Reads St. Monica All-Girls High School. Caption, Santa Monica, California, 25th of September, 1939. Whew. Page 7, Interior Biology Classroom Day.
Mm-hmm.
Panel 1. Julia
What's
stands
the
in the...
You
know what stopping is. Panel 1. Julia stands in front of the class next to Sister Esther. Behind her, the blackboard with notes from the lesson plan scribbled on it, along with drawings and photos of dinosaur fossil bones. Danny, why don't you do Esther? Larry, why don't you do Julia? And Preston, why don't you do Megan?
Okay.
Class, this is Julia Liu. Her father works at the Chinese consulate, and she'll be joining us for the remainder of the school year. Please be sure to make her feel welcome.
Panel 2, reverse of Panel 1. Julia faces away from us, bowing. In the background, we see several of the girls sitting at their desks. Some are smiling, some are distracted, and others completely disinterested in her.
Thank you for having me.
You may sit in that open desk over there.
Panel 3, large panel. Julia sits at the desk, smiling and nodding at Megan Lang, who sits to her right. Esther can be seen in the background. The other students look forward at Esther.
Scroll, press the scroll.
We have a hater. I'm like, dude, this is a writer's stream.
Yeah.
Why we can't even talk about writing without the haters.
Oh, we got a hater? Okay, cool. Put some of the comments up. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go.
Wow.
Sorry, and who is this idiot?
But he's advertising for newegg.com.
That's awesome. Anyway.
No, it's not. It's look, Preston. Look at the name. We know somebody with a name similar to that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. We do. Yeah. I'm sorry, Gary. Anyway.
Oh,
Okay.
man. That was awesome.
This is the death of streaming. Come and witness the demise of streaming as we continue.
Yeah. Jeez. All right.
Wait, do we even monetize these streams?
No.
Well, I mean, yeah, actually they are, but yeah, if somebody wants to make a donation, whatever. Like, I'm not going to turn it off, but,
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Whew. All right.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
All right. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We were at Megan's line,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and I think I assigned Megan to Preston.
Yes. Is this your first time in the States?
Yes.
Welcome. I'm Megan.
We're continuing our discussion on modern synthesis based on observations from fossil transitions.
It's my favorite subject.
Page 8. Exterior schoolyard, volleyball court. Panel 1, splash page. View from below on the opposing side. Megan, wearing gym clothes, leaps into the air, swats a volleyball over the net. On the ground, other girls wearing similar outfits prepare for the ball to return. Some dart to the side, others stand crouched over. Effects: a 4-pointed star emphasizes Megan's hit of the ball. Swack.
Air.
Panel 2. Julia, wearing a similar gym clothes, leaps into the air to return the ball, but it passes right by. Use motion lines to indicate she wasn't even close. Missed it by a mile. Effects: an exclamation point hangs over Julia's head. Panel 3. Julia crashes head first into the dirt, but sticking into the air. Effects: a cartoon mushroom cloud hangs over Julia's head. Thump. Panel 4. Julia on her knees, face half covered in dirt, laughing at herself as the other girls stand around laughing. Page 9. Exteriors. Oh yeah, still the volleyball court. I just do that now on all my pages. Panel 1. Megan leaps into the air, serving the ball. Effects: a 4-pointed star emphasizes Megan's hit of the ball. Whack. Panel 2. Julia spikes the ball directly into the net. A 4-pointed star emphasizes Julia's hit of the ball.
I hit it. I hit it. Yeah.
Panel 3. The ball springs out of the net. Spring. Panel 4. The ball smacks Julia upside down the head. Schmack. Panel 5. Megan drinks from the water fountain as Julia stands by waiting for her turn.
I'm not very good at this game.
Panel 6. Julia drinks from the water fountain as Megan wipes her forehead with a hand towel.
It just takes practice.
Oh, yeah.
Page 10. Panel 1. Oh, Danny, why don't you do Alice?
Sure.
Panel 1. Alice O'Ryan sits still in her school uniform, sits in the bleachers, staring down at Julia, her clothes and skin covered in dirt.
You want to play? It's okay if you're not good.
Playing in the dirt is for plebs.
Panel 2. Megan, with one arm around Julia's shoulders and the other arm holding the volleyball, leads Julia away from Alice.
Ignore her. That's what we all do.
Who that?
Panel 3. Megan presses the button on the water fountain, splashes water on her face and neck.
This is Alice O'Ryan. Apparently she's exempt from all the normal academic requirements us normal people have to do.
And yes, I realize I just put in normal twice there, and I should probably cut one of them. Panel 4. Julia looks back at Alice.
Hate her.
Behind.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's her secret? Go ahead.
Is it that she's white?
Julia looks back at Alice behind her. Megan drinks from the water fountain.
White privilege.
Something like that, actually.
Right.
Panel 5. Large panel. Alice sits on the bench, legs crossed, staring off into the distance.
Her father's some big shot businessman. Somehow managed not to lose a dime in the market crash. There's a whole depression going on, but it's not affecting them. Spent $50,000 to retrofit the school a year ago, so the nuns think they owe him.
Huh.
All right. Well, there's a distinctive lack of panty theft in those pages.
Yeah, I heard that was really traumatic.
Well, the Julia versus Alice subplot wasn't going where I wanted it to go, so I decided to cut it. But I still needed some of the information that was gleaned about Alice and her, well, specifically about her father, because the whole scene was all about her father to begin with. So I needed that information to still be in the story, so this is what I came up with. And I kind of like this version better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is an excellent introduction to, some actually, basically the Power Rangers TV show.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's where I expect the story is going to go.
Yeah.
Like whimsical high school comedy, and someone turns into a fucking dragon and murders. So hopefully that's what I'm going to get.
Hopefully that's something you will get.
He doesn't know, Danny. He doesn't know.
Well, all right, we had Dragon Warrior. Dragon Warrior was cool, and then we transitioned to Julia's first day at Santa Monica All Girls High School, and she found out from that Megan's pretty cool chick, and Alice gets to upset all the co-eds because of
white privilege.
Well, because
Yes.
of white
What
privilege.
you're looking for is white privilege.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more rich privilege, but
It's
Yeah,
1939.
Yeah.
It's
The other two
all
roles
about
are
white
fighting
privilege.
stars.
It's like
It's definitely white privilege.
it's 1939. Pretty much everybody is white and everybody is poor.
It's true.
Well, yeah. So,
It's like,
all
but
right.
anyway,
I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, any other things before I want to go to constructives?
Once again, this is a truly excellent introduction to Power Rangers meets Sailor Moon.
oh, that's what you said. Power
Yeah.
Power Rangers meets Sailor Moon. Okay, I love that reference now. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I love that.
It's got a little
Like,
bit of that,
I
yeah.
cannot emphasize enough how successful you were at doing an introduction to Power Rangers meets Sailor Moon. And I'm saying that knowing that is not where the story's going.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
maybe
it's
that's where
a
it should
very
go.
good introduction to Power Rangers meets Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really get. Well, okay, kind of Power Rangers, I guess, but
There was a transformation page.
yeah, but there's like a ton of other stuff that came before that, and anyway, doesn't matter.
I expect Julia is going to turn into a fucking dragon by the end of this.
I will hope so, because that would be kind of cool. But yeah,
So yeah,
well, we always wanted, the Luck Dragon versus the Clan. I mean,
We
come on
do.
now. So yeah, it's like yeah,
I'm behind that.
yeah.
It just
Hey,
doesn't feel very
You
espionage.
never know, you might get your wish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wishes are made to never come true. That's what I've learned from being on this stream. I learned it from you.
Oh my god.
Actually, no constructives from me on this. It is a
Yeah.
very excellent introduction to a story that you have not written. But it's
There
very,
we go. All right. I'm going to ditto Danny's note. I'm gonna say this is an excellent introduction to a story you have not written. There you
Oh
go.
Wow. Okay.
god.
There we go.
I don't know how to take that.
Let me think. I think the volleyball thing takes up a little bit too much time, but kind of gives her. I know where you're going with it because she's actually really skilled at sort of martial arts and stuff like that. So she's kind of just playing the role of the dorky girl, but yeah. It just seems like what was it, 2 or 3 pages, something like that. Yeah,
It was 3 pages.
yeah. It's kind of been done, I guess. I don't know, but that's not necessarily a bad thing either. So I don't know. I don't really have any constructives. It was actually really well written. So yeah.
All right.
Preston,
Moving on. Yes. What?
have opinions.
I dittoed your opinion. That was my opinion.
What were your constructives?
He has opinions.
I dittoed your opinion. I thought you summed it up best.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Thank you.
Was it
good.
emotional enough for you, Preston?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were emotions in it.
It
though,
was
so-
an excellent. It was an excellent
Yeah.
introduction. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Share screen. Here we
Oh
go.
god, here we go.
Here
I don't
we
know how
go.
well the dialogue is in this.
Wait, we're
Here
starting
we
on page
go.
9?
Yeah, because it's issue 4. I already read anyway.
All right.
So
So warm us up here, Larry. What's
yeah,
happening?
it's been a while. So general story: Samael comes to Earth. He causes some trouble. He gets into a fight with some demons. He meets a young man that he teams up with. They try to get away. They get intercepted by an angel and a couple of these weird guys called the Titans that can transform into monsters. He fights them. We're at the aftermath of the fight. Samuel and his Farouk, his new human companion, have just gotten away, and we're meeting back up with the aftermath with the Titans. Their leader, Gus Mueller, he's not very happy with them, so that's where we're starting. Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll read the narration. Preston, you can do Gus's lines. He's got a lot of over-the-top dialogue. I know you like that.
Failed me for the last
there
time.
you go. There's Jen, John. You can do that, and then we'll just divvy up the roles later on. So yeah, exactly.
Oh no!
All right.
Those are two Darth Vader lines right in a row.
I know. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Yeah. I did that intentionally. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Page 9, splash page. So we're starting with a wide shot. Gus has formed two long black metal spikes from his fist, and he drives them into Hans' eyes. Purple energy explodes out of them from the impact points. Jen screams in the background. Gus grins maniacally as his eyes glow bright purple. Now.
No!
You have failed for the last time. Admiral, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes, Admiral. Yeah. Page 10. Panel 1, wide shot. Gus pulls out the spikes. Hans starts to shrivel up and decay as purple energy leaks out from where his eyes were. Panel 2, wide shot. Hans' body starts to implode into a glowing ball of purple energy. Panel 3, close up. Gus grabs the ball of compressed energy in his hand. Panel 4, close up. Gus opens his mouth wide and throws the energy ball in. Panel 4, inset. Close up. Gus swallows the energy ball. A glow can be seen moving down his throat. Panel 5, close up. Gus pounds his chest with his left hand and burps. That's your line, Preston.
Burp, excuse me.
There we go. Yes. Page 11, panel 1, wide shot. Jen curses Gus from the background. Gus lets out a mighty laugh, swinging his head backwards to the foreground.
You're a real asshole.
Oh, calm down and take a pill.
That's a hard one to pronounce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Panel 2, close up on Jen's face as she bursts out in rage, tears welling in her bright purple eyes.
Motherfucker. I'll kill you.
Panel 2, inset. Close up on Gus's steely gaze towards her, purple energy blazing out from his stare. He cuts her off before she can finish her sentence.
Silence! Don't you dare finish that sentence.
There we go. Panel 3, wide shot. View from the side. Jen drops to her knees, tears releasing. She apologizes and sinks her head down, realizing her error. Gus bends down towards her, waves it off with a gesture and a wide smile, belittling her.
I'm sorry, Oceanius. I'm completely out of line. Hans was a good brother. You have to understand father.
Preston.
I understand. I'm just.
Yeah.
I understand completely. You loved your brother. It's natural. But you're a good submissive child. That's why you're still here, not fucking dead.
There you go. Page 12. Panel 1. Wide shot. Waist high on the two Titans from the side. Gus grips both of Jen's shoulders and pulls her to her feet. Jen still hangs her head low, whispering her replies. Gus smiles down at her.
Now on your feet, soldier, and join up with the tracking team.
Yes, yes, sir.
Panel 2, upper right, inset. Close up on Gus's mouth as he smiles wide.
Good girl, but say it with a little more pep.
Panel 2, close up on head and shoulders. Jen stands looking straight at Gus in the eyes and salutes with deadly determination.
Yes, sir. You can count on me.
There we go. Panel 3, wide shot. Jen walks off towards the left while Gus remains standing in the center of the panel, his arms now crossed behind his back, his face strained and his eyes closed. Two shadows appear behind him, one male, one female, emerging from a plume of passing smoke highlighted by a blue-green flash.
I'm not really in the mood to deal with you, wizard.
Page 13, panel 1, wide shot. The smoke passes and we see Gatsby and Guinevere standing casually with a serious expression on their faces as they look towards Gus. John, you can do Gatsby.
My apologies, but your kin assured me last night that the situation was under control. Now we stand in the several leveled blocks of the fair city of Boston.
Hi, Cheyenne.
Hey. Panel 1, inset lower right, close up on Gatsby's mouth. He remains calm, holding back deep-seated rage.
I dare say you lost control.
Yes. Panel 2, close up on Gus's face, still facing away from the two wizards. Seen out of focus in the background, his eyes shoot open, a fake smile on his face.
We are going to fix the problem very soon, don't worry, your pretty wizard head.
Panel 3, close up on Guinevere, waist high. She crosses her arms in front, puffing out her chest. A look of sarcasm and defiance on her face. Danny, you can read Guinevere. So.
What a load of bullshit. You fear that creature, and you know it.
Panel 4, wide shot. Side view. Gus turns and looks towards the two wizards. His eyes now blazing hot purple, his face stern and cold. Gatsby tips his hat and smiles back, laughing a bit to diffuse the tension while Guinevere remains defiant.
You best muzzle your bitch, Gatsby. Her looks won't stop me from freeing her head from her head from that light little body.
Tight. Yeah.
That tight little body.
There you
right.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Forgive her. She is a bit new, not aware of all the etiquette and protocol.
It's a tight body. Page 14.
I have no needs for a protocol droid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. One same view as page 13, panel 4. Gus waves his hand dismissively as he turns away from the pairs. Gatsby continues to tip his hat and bows forward. Guinevere looks annoyingly towards Gus, her arms crossed.
I have no time for this. Don't you have some place to be other than here annoying me?
Actually, I have a party to plan.
You always have a party to plan, it seems.
Can't have too much of a good thing.
Panel 2. Close up on Gus's face as he turns back to look at the two wizards. A purple flash of light in his eyes.
Stay out of this, wizard. I mean it. Next time I see you snooping around our operations, there will be no talk. Only actions. Understood?
Panel 3. Close up on Gatsby's face, his expression now dead serious.
As long as you get that monster off the streets, you won't see us again. Right, Guinevere?
Panel 3, insert. Bridging to panel 4. Close up of Guinevere's face, she rolls her eyes away from Gatsby, a look of disappointment on her face.
Sure, whatever you say.
Panel 4. Close up on Gus's eyes as he glares forward in determination, the purple energy sparking in his eyes.
Have no fears, we will get him.
Page 15, panel 1, wide shot. Guinevere and Gatsby are in the foreground arguing. Gus walks away from them in the background, not looking back, forward towards the black-suited cleanup crew in the market square, waving goodbye with his right hand.
Unbelievable. Did I not explain how deadly these creatures are before we left?
Would you relax? He's just a mean-looking businessman with weird contact lenses. Nothing I can't handle.
Gus and his kind look human, but there is something else. Something divine, almost.
Panel 1, inset leading into panel 2. Close up on Guinevere's head and shoulders view. She looks at Gatsby, a look of she shoots Gatsby a look of sarcastic disbelief. Jeez, I can't even read my own writing.
That asshole? Divine? Come on, quit pulling my leg. I can't even see his aura.
Panel 2, wide shot. Guinevere has her back to the reader in the foreground. Gatsby looks down at her with a deadly serious expression.
You can't see it, because he won't let you. I'm serious. If these people tell you to stay away, you stay away.
Uck, jeez. I'll stay away.
Panel 2, leading into panel 3. Close up on Gatsby's hand, he snaps his fingers. Snap. Panel 3, a wide shot. A portal of blue-green swirling energy opens behind the pair of wizards. Gatsby motions with both of his hands towards a panel. Portal.
Shall we?
Page 16, panel 1, wide shot, side view. The two wizards start to walk into the portal. Panel 2, same view as the last panel. Gatsby is all the way in except for the very back tip of his long trench coat. Guinevere stops. Panel 2, inset. Close up on her face, she snaps her gaze towards the viewer as if she notices something strange. Panel 3, wide shot, back view on Guinevere in the left foreground, halfway into the portal as she looks to the darkened window of one of the shops in the right background. Panel 3, insert. She looks up at Guinevere's face. Close up on Guinevere's face, she looks confused and she talks out loud to herself.
Swear I just saw something. They're losing it. Might be time for a siesta.
Panel 4, wide shot, view from inside the window shop. Looking out. In the background, Guinevere enters the portal. In the foreground, Viviax presses herself against the right wall of the store, out of view of the window. A slightly panicked look on her face. Page 17, panel 1, insert top left, medium shot. The portal starts to close. Panel 1, close up on Viviax's face. She breathes a sigh of relief, talking out loud to herself. Preston? Sure. You can do Viviax, sure.
Phew! Shit, that was close!
Panel 2, close up head and shoulders. A wide smile creeps across her face as she rubs her chin, thinking and talking out loud.
Mother said to watch from the shadows, but holy shit, the aura on that female wizard. She's the one.
Yeah.
I had to get a good look at her assets.
There you go. Panel 3. Panel 3, wide shot, perspective shot. From below, looking up towards Viviax as she leans backward, stretching her arms upward and spreading her wings out a little, tilting her head back slightly. She giggles in delight, barking out her intentions of defiance.
I know my orders are to follow the Titans, but I can't pass up following that babe. She's perfect.
Panel 4, close up on Viviax's face as her eyes glow bright red and her smile grows wide, showing off her sharpened teeth. She screams her plan out with blissful joy.
She's the first step to my divine ascension, the first step to my trinity.
Yeah.
Not even a maniacal laugh.
Page 18. This is where it's going to get shitty crazy. Panel 1, caption. The premium mobile, path of eternity, heaven. Wide shot from above. Two distant human figures clad in white robes. One male, one female walk down a long, ceilingless corridor. The walls are made of elaborate gold and silver designs. At the end of the corridor, a bright light shines out from the huge archway, miles tall. Panel 2, wide shot. The two figures, comparable to the size of ants to humans in perspective, stand at the foot of the arch. The light so bright it silhouettes them. The arch is covered in perched cherubim, the small creatures with four faces. Human front face, ox on the right, lion on the left, and a great eagle coming out of the back. 6 great wings, covered with eyes, extend from the 4 heads and make up the bodies of the creatures. They sing in unison. I'm not going to read all that. So. Glory. There we go. Yeah. Panel 3, close up on some of the cherubim. They all stop singing in unison, pointing all of their eyes downward, towards the pair in front of the arch. Panel 4, wide shot, same view as panel 2. The cherubim flutter away in waves off the arch, like flocks of birds into the sky. Panel 19, or page 19. Panel 1, wide shot, perspective looking from the ground upward. Behind the two hooded figures, the light from the arch flickers blue in a large flash. A booming voice greets them. John, go.
Welcome, lords. You may enter.
See, I heard that differently because I listened to a Metatron YouTuber. But,
John?
Yeah.
You still there?
A YouTuber. Yeah. Is he?
Under the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a character. All right.
Isn't he a demon
Panel
or something
2, wide
like that?
shot, same view. No, he's the voice of God.
Oh, there
he's
you
an
go.
angel. But, yeah.
Well,
wide shot, same. What?
Or he's a transformer.
no, that
Yes, he says he's also a transformer, but no, I'm just kidding. You're thinking of Megatron.
Yeah.
But yeah.
no.
Panel 2.
But that was in the movie. In Christian mythology, isn't he like an angel or a demon or something?
Yeah,
Definitely
he's an angel. He's the voice of God. He's the one that speaks for God when someone talks to God. So, yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Panel 2, wide shot, same view as panel 1, the bear walking through the flashing light. Panel 3, wide shot, back shot on the two figures. They are transported into a tunnel of blue light that surrounds them on all sides, with a bright light ahead of them. In the center of the tunnel, they stand still as the tunnel moves around them.
No, don't walk into the light.
Yeah. Panel 4, wide shot, back shot on the two figures. They now stand in the foreground of a room surrounded by a black void of nothing, a circle of white light under them. A simple white curtain suspended in the air divides the circular floor in half. In the center of the room stands a large 14-foot angel with glowing gold armor, 6 wings, and a black blindfold with a white eye drawn on it across his eyes. The angel Metatron greets the two again.
Young lords, you have answered the summons. Step forward.
Page 20. Last page. Wide shot, the two figures front facing pull their hoods down, revealing their faces. The white robes glowing against the black behind them. One tan-skinned young man, Aramaic descent, in his 30s, with a thick beard. The other one is a fair-skinned young woman of Mesopotamian descent, who also appears in her 30s. The robes have the same ancient markings down the front. Both have a chestplate of armor made of gold under the open front of the robes.
Lord Jesus, Lord Enoch, there is much to discuss.
Nice. So that's
right,
where we're gonna leave off
go.
right now. Yeah.
Okay, well, we had some stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the scenes worked out okay.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to constructives, I'm gonna ask why we didn't have a battle between Gatsby Guinevere. Instead, we had kind of a talky posy thing with Gus.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sure.
the talky posy thing was okay. They talked at each other, and that was cool. And Gus got to do a Darth Vader impression, and that was cool. And then we had Metatron,
Yeah.
who's taken an interest, and that's I think what happened. So, what do you think, Danny?
I really liked the conversation between Jen and Gus.
Okay.
And then Guinevere and some Preston characters show up, and then you have a really cool scene with Metatron and some fucked up Revelation angels.
Yeah.
Which is always fun because that book is nuts and no one should ever read it.
Hot takes. We're dropping
LSD fever dream. That is for sure.
Yeah, it is.
That's what Preston's character saw. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Revelation is fucked up. It's crazy.
It is. Yeah, it's great. Okay.
And by the way, going back to the Christian history, that was a very controversial inclusion.
Definitely.
In the Bible.
Yeah.
There was a lot of objection at the time. Like, why do you want that book in? Anyway.
There was also a lot of objection later on. I mean,
right.
Historically speaking, even if you were literate and did study the Christian Bible, like the two rabbit holes that you're going to get ostracized for going down are Revelation and the Song of Songs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The Song of Songs because everyone tries to make it not about sex.
Right.
And Revelation is really, really bad shit. And it's like crazy contemporaneous symbolism about Rome. Like in a very specific time period.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so freaking weird. But also,
I just saw something
a lot of crazy imagery, and it's just spent all this time describing this crazy imagery in order to be symbolic and weird, and that's not even the main point of Revelation. It's just this massive distraction from all of how much it talks about Rome.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the history, was in the past.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
I
not
saw
when it was
a
written.
video. I saw a video that basically 666 is an anagram for Nero.
Yeah.
So all the references in the Bible to 666 is basically talking about Emperor Nero. I only just found that out. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, there's some crazy history behind most of that stuff, but yeah.
It's again very, very nerdy. Like first century symbolism, specifically talking about Nero and Rome, and all of Babylon was not a running concern at the time. But there's a lot of that. It's a symbol for Rome. There's just a ton of that stuff. Revelation is weird. Good on you for using crazy ass batshit angels.
There you go.
Gotta use those though.
John?
It's a interesting turn of events in the story. If I recall how the previous pages ended with, basically leveling half the city, and then this stuff happens, which is kind of weird.
It's
so
a bridge.
It's interesting.
It's a bridge
Visually.
issue, yeah. So it's gotta happen to push the story forward. It could just be battles and battles and battles, but yeah.
Oh, so you mean it's all about plot, huh, Press?
Yeah, plot. That kind of thing.
That's what you're always yelling at me for. Well, I'm doing this because of plot. It's like, it's always plot with you. And Larry's doing this whole book. Well, this is just all here because of plot. And
I had 3 issues of non-stop action.
You're trying to give notes on the story. Whatever.
But I had 3 issues written of non-stop fighting and action, so it needed to slow down a little bit for a minute and then pick back up again. So yeah. It's those Marvel TV series episodes no one likes. Anyways,
how's the lettering coming along, by the way?
That's a good question. I got to check in with him because he said he was supposed to be done. So, yeah, I was waiting for an email. So, yeah.
Constructed notes. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why we didn't have a battle. I felt like we could have had a little bit of flashbang stuff with Gatsby and Gus.
Yeah, they're just kind of dick wagging at this moment. So yeah. So he knows he can't really take him at this point. So
jumping off of Preston's point, something you said, I definitely think you're going to have some paying customers who might take some umbrage to 11 pages of not what they've been buying for the last 3 issues.
Right. Yeah.
And giving the Preston characters something to do might actually be a solution. Even if it's just even if it's just a heist, the city is crumbling. We've teleported here. We have to go collect the whatever because we're thieves or whatever the hell. Because all I am familiar with is when Mulvey was having.
No, that is not exactly a really good representation. But
sure, but let's go protect this from this crumbling city while we still can, and some kind of non-fighting danger still puts them in an action sequence.
Right. Yeah.
That would keep the pacing up without having it be. It's de-escalating without not having action.
Right. I think. Well, I mean, we did have a dude stab somebody in the face and eat him.
In the face?
So there was a little bit of action. But yeah. And there's
action, that's just violence.
There's a big flashback scene in the first 10 pages that you guys didn't like the first time, but
there's a flashback scene in the first 10 pages, and then there's nothing very much happening in the next 10 pages. So is there another?
It's a bridge issue.
It's introducing new characters and blah, blah, blah,
that is required to impart information so that issue 5 can happen.
Hey, Larry, really cool?
Yeah.
And I know I'm saying this under the awareness that you've probably very nearly gotten to print with your previous issues. So
no, I haven't.
Entire walking through heaven scene was the last page of every issue.
What? Sorry.
That walking through heaven scene, if that was the last page of the last few issues, just like, meanwhile, heaven
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, heaven
Yeah.
isn't ignoring this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, have you met this guy Jesus? I hear he's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaven isn't ignoring this. And then eventually, there's a beginning of an issue where they show up.
Yeah.
That's foreshadowing, right? Like, if you can find a way to rejig everything to make that work, then you don't have to spend like 5 pages on that. You can have a bit more action in this issue without having to have it be entirely abridged.
Yeah, a lot of the end pages are, this is the setup for the next issue or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So
you can set up for the next issue, and also here's some foreshadowing.
There was a big scene like that in issue 2, I think, in Hell. So it's kind of mirroring that, I guess. So yeah, actually, it's
that was so long ago. I don't remember issue 2.
I know that's the problem with reading these over so long of a time. But yeah.
So
well, by the way, that also might happen to your readers.
Yeah, I know, that's the other problem.
Yeah, your readers are reading the story out over a fairly long period of time. So
again, reasons to give them what they're paying for in every issue.
Yeah.
And if you set balls to the wall, I mean, your balls can't be that far from the wall by issue 4.
Yeah.
How many issues is this going to be? 5?
I'm thinking 6 now, but just because I want to do some crazy stuff near the end. But yeah.
I mean, if you're doing like 5 pages of Jesus-y setup, you're willing to pay that off. So that does sound like 6 issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so that's fine. That's why I wasn't sure. So my thought would be, creatively, spread out your info dump. Don't give us 3 pages of nonstop action, world coming to an end, and then abruptly stop it for an expo dump. That exposition needs to be sprinkled in between, in the lows of the fights in issues 2 and 3. Push some of the action from 2 into 3, and some of the action from 3 into 4, and take some of this information that you feel you need to impart on us and sprinkle that in.
Yeah,
because otherwise I think you're going to lose a lot of people. And Danny's right. People are going to be, even if you do an issue a quarter, we're talking, this issue is going to be almost a year after issue 1. So we get 3 issues, 1 issue a quarter for 9 months of battles and action. And then you're going to give us this, and we're going to have to wait another 3 months to get what we originally wanted, which was crazy battles in action. Right. And you're talking a good 6 months of time where I think you could potentially lose some people.
I know what you're saying, but yeah, narratively it doesn't make a whole lot of sense just to tack an action scene in, but yeah.
I'm not saying tack an action scene in.
Yeah.
I am saying take the information that you're trying to impart here and spread it out over the last 2 issues. Push some of the action from 2 into issue 3, and push some of the action from issue 3 into issue 4. And I think you can alleviate some of this.
Here.
Issue 2 starts, big bad action scene. 2-3 pages of exposition, big bad action scene. Issue 3 starts, big bad action scene. Couple pages of exposition, big bad action scene. Issue 3 ends.
I'll have to show you the scripts because that's exactly how they're laid out right now. So.
All right, well,
yeah.
You know what? You guys can take that up in Discord.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think because it's so spread out, I think you're going to potentially lose people. The other thing I would...
These sound like sound advice.
No, it's good advice. I'll definitely go back and revise them again. So
Here's another thought, and this is something that I'm thinking about doing with Dragon Warrior when I do the trade, is nobody says you have to, assuming you're going to do that, nobody says you have to keep it in issue 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 order. If you can figure out a way that makes it interesting, even if it's not linear, you can always go back when you do your trade and reorganize things into a more linear manner.
Mm.
Well, do the trade, then do a remastered edition. Bam, sell it twice.
You could just.
There's gonna be a
whole Blade Runner,
right? Like
yeah.
My intention is I am not going to technically market a trade. My intention is that I'm going to take my books and I'm going to either remaster or re-sort them into a graphic novel, and I'm going to market it as a graphic novel. That is my intention for my issues when they're done.
Yeah, well, that's...
and I may even have to hire an artist. I'm also actually planning in a couple areas that to hire an artist to do a couple extra pages, just to throw it in, just to kind of bridge some of that narrative gap between the two issues to kind of give it a more smooth flow. And of course, if rearranging the pages throws off my page turns, then I might see how I can fill in some of that as well. You know, give readers something a little bit extra.
You laugh at that. Yeah.
Great.
I'll still be ahead of Ethan, so even in a year. So,
in the voice chat last night, somebody pointed. I didn't think about it, but somebody was like, "Rob Liefeld, Preston Poulter has done more in the last 2 years than Rob Liefeld." I'm like,
it's true.
You know, I have actually.
Well, let's say the last thing I saw him do majorly, he did this little 5-issue run for Marvel 2 years ago. And I think he was working on some sort of crowdfunded book that he screwed a bunch of people on, and then
Brigade or whatever.
Brigade, so it released on a different platform after he screwed the original backers. So it's like
the Kickstarter backers are still left hanging.
Well done, sir. Yeah. All the pros, I tell you.
But Larry, I think these are some good notes. I'm glad you guys are talking and helping each other out. That's what it's all about. We're all here to make money, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Anything else?
And if you're going to steal Preston's characters, give them something to do. Otherwise, you're going to annoy the Guinevere and Gatsby fans.
Yeah.
Because if they're buying your book for Guinevere and Gatsby, you had better freaking give them Guinevere and Gatsby. Otherwise, they're going to be like, "Oh, this is." I think that'll hurt you more than, you know.
Well, I don't want to spoil too much for the future, but
all right.
I'm just saying, you're dropping these characters in, and they're not doing nothing. If you don't keep those people, I don't care what you're going to do in issue 5 with them. That's super amazing.
No.
If they get bored with them in issue 4, there's always the potential that they're not going to come back in 3 months. So
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know
that's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I keep telling you to drop Viviax in issue 2 so you can get variant covers with Viviax for issue 2 so you can start making money. But no, we got to introduce her in issue 3. I mean, if I was writing a story with Viviax, I would put her in a dream sequence in issue 1 just so that I could get her in issue 1. I mean, holy crap! If that was my plan,
you know, John, you're making a very compelling argument. I think I have to agree with you.
I'm like, that's she's got the money makers, literally.
Yes, she does.
I mean, you're good. You want to use her for the money makers. Use her for the freaking money makers. I don't get why you're so reserved with. If you're going to use the characters, use them. If you're not, you know.
Look, Larry's from the Maritimes. Maybe he's allergic to money.
There you go. Maybe.
It's quite possible.
Well, he is in Canada, and they only have funny money there. So
exactly.
So is Danny, but yeah.
But by the way, does anybody want to see the Trinity cover for?
Sure.
So this is for Lords of Iron.
Also, I'll just mention really quickly, Danny, looking at your pages, you're definitely going in the right direction. This is really good stuff. Color is beautiful. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's just flats.
Yeah, I know, but like the actual like colors that you're using and stuff are gorgeous. I love the bright stuff. So yeah.
Very little direction, and I'm really glad that the colorist caught on the Star Trek trinity of my protagonists.
Yeah,
because it really is like Picard, Worf, and Bones.
Yeah, definitely.
As weird as that is, that's my Star Trek trinity.
Oh, look at that! That's the RB White.
This is RB White.
Yeah,
RB White. Take on
good stuff.
That was a nice default zoom.
Is there a way
it's not Preston's preferred asset?
Yeah. Try clicking on the % and see if it gives you a number sign.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Do you have a wheel on your mouse? That works sometimes.
It moves it up and down. Hold on. Let me.
That's
he's on a Mac. You never know.
Oh, okay. Yes, I understand. I used to do that. Yeah. Until both of my Macs exploded themselves. So yeah.
Finder. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, I shouldn't complain. I use Linux.
I love Apple. I love Apple products. Like I've had a desktop since 2007, but both of my laptops destroyed themselves. And so I'm very angry at Apple because they were $3,000 laptops. So
how's that?
That's
nice.
Good.
That's pencils and inks.
Pencils and inks. Yeah.
Very nice.
That is nice.
Well, I guess she is appropriately on a pedestal.
Yeah.
She is, yeah.
He did a little bit better on the mask too, I think, than the last artist.
And so, how much of her head is going to be cut off by the logo?
We got. Now, I will say that last time on the RB White cover, I just went with Virgin both times because there was so much going on up here.
Yeah.
That, the masthead was just covering up too much, so I just went Virgin both times. And if I have to do that again, then that's fine. I mean, look, to me, my focus.
Put it down below.
Yeah, to me, my focus is less on the cover and more on the print, because
the print's going to make money.
Yeah.
So curious if it's.
I like how she's like sitting like an Egyptian. It's just it's a whole great look.
What's his price?
Well, this one cost me $1,000, but.
Damn.
Joke's on him. It was 1,000 Canadian dollars.
Ooh, USD's way up right now. That probably wasn't too bad for
him. He's getting a little expensive, but
but I mean, look,
he does really nice work.
I got results. Okay, like look, he gave me a big price tag, but I tried him out for Guinevere issue 5, and like a Make 100 brought in $8,100. With just RB White covers.
I know, man. Like he's good.
Want?
Yeah.
What do you want? All right.
I hear that.
Yeah.
You draw in that kind of crowd. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You're literally You're literally giving me the seed to a money tree. I'm not going to argue over how much the seed costs.
Exactly. So there you go. Anyway. That's coming out. Thank you, Cheyenne. I appreciate the.
Just gotta get the cash flow going. That's all.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all for this week.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah. That's cool.
Bye.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.